Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another Absolute Zeros podcast. I am your host, Josh, and with me tonight we got some awesome guest stars. We have Raj here with us. How you doing, Raj?
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Doing great, doing great. We also have JC Vibrant here. How you doing, my man?
Doing very, very excellent, my friend. Very excellent indeed.
Good to be back, isn't it?
Oh yeah, after a long, long, subtle period of time, yeah, it's
Good
finally
year or
good to
so.
be back.
I know
Yeah,
it's been a while. It has been quite a while. One point of business before we get into everything. We do have a great topic, a great list of topics for you guys today. I do want to let everyone know that this moving forward is going to be a bi-weekly podcast. Now, we will rarely have those weeks where we will do an additional podcast, but that just depends on what actual news or topics are interesting that come out the week of. So you guys will know if we do when we do our podcast, because if you follow our socials, there'll be announcements. But yeah, for the most part, this is going to be a bi-weekly podcast from now on. So yeah, great it's been a great year so far. I can't believe it's already February. Like,
honestly,
holy shit! Like, what
it's
the hell?
always January that seems to pass by so damn fast, and it's mind-boggling.
It really is. It's like,
And
my
yesterday
god.
just so happens to be the day. Yesterday just so happens to be the day. Damn.
What?
You hearing a ghost? You hearing a ghost or something?
The music? That's the background music.
Okay. Sorry. Yesterday was yesterday was the
Get him out,
day
Josh.
Barry Allen managed to arrive in the future on the CW show in season 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, isn't it? Isn't it? Well, I didn't really. It was a we're talking. That's a Flash, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
a
the
yeah,
Flash TV
actual
show
the actual live action Flash, not whatever the fuck that
yes,
was last
hmm
year.
with
yeah.
CW Flash. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
CW
CW
Flash.
Flash is Supreme Flash. Honestly,
Yeah,
Mm,
you heard it from
yes.
me.
I agree.
Um,
Big time.
I,
well,
Yes.
no, it's good. It's cool. Like it's cool that you're also switching over to bi-weekly. It gives I guess more time to think of topics or just give more topics to talk about and figure out the whole structure thing going on.
That,
yeah,
and you don't burn yourself out doing it weekly.
Exactly.
Which
If you
I
can
did.
come up with topics on the fly or just something to do or whatever, like if you have like a good structure thing with your
hmm
own podcast, I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I
exactly.
say go for it. Yeah, bi-weekly, it works better.
Or you have a special podcast that you start out with, like last week with IkiCon review. And by the way, that is up on Spotify now. So go
Go
check it out.
check it out. Good friend of mine,
okay.
Accent Kisses, on there.
hmm
Hella great person.
Oh yes, definitely. So yeah, we are on Spotify again. We got a little teaser trailer there as well for people who are new.
Spotify.
Yeah, absolutely. Spotify. It took me a minute to figure out how to set that up again because
Good job.
we had
Wow,
podcast
I need to
episodes
figure
on
that
there,
out
but
now too.
we basically decided to scrap all the podcast episodes that were on there already and just start fresh from 2024 because I was about to upload 4 years worth of podcasts onto Spotify, and that would have not been great. And I was listening back to some of those, and damn, they were cringy as fuck, but still
Yeah,
fun to listen to, but cringy as
I'm
fuck.
partly responsible for some of those.
Yeah, yeah.
I gotta tell you, clearly a huge.
I think we all had a part to play in that. Anyway, so yeah, tonight we have some great topics. We are going to be talking about some topics such as the Netflix Avatar. We're going to be talking about Godzilla minus one. Sorry, we're
Oh,
talking
I'm gonna
about
be all over
Percy
that.
Jackson and the
Mm,
Olympians from Disney
mm.
Plus. We're also going to be talking about the Congress bullshit that happened this past Wednesday. Yes, I said Congress. That means we are going to be introducing IRL. We're going to be introducing real world topics into the show. I did say
Like
before.
sprinkle.
Yeah, I did say. Yeah, it's not going to be. It's. I don't. I don't want the podcast to be full real world topics, that'd be depressing as hell.
No, because then you got the
It
Joe
would
Rogan
turn into
experience,
Fox News. It turned into Fox News.
or
But
another form of Joe Rogan.
exactly. But I did say absolute zeros means anything can go. So yeah. Anyways, but before we get into our main topics, I do want to give an honorable mention to one little news snippet that came out this past week. That would be, hey, we got a teaser trailer, we got a teaser snippet for Sonic the Hedgehog 3. And
Oh
I will
man,
say right here and now, if this lands in theaters, if this does great, Sonic the Hedgehog will literally be the greatest video game movie adaptation trilogy in history.
honestly.
We got to be careful though. Keep our expectations low for now. Just saying, you know.
Well, that's
Yeah,
already too
yeah.
late. That is already too late there, Raj. Because I'm just gonna lay down three things for you. One, it's got Shadow. Two, it's got Crush 40 coming into the fray because the main dude from Crush 40, who does live and learn,
Hmm.
he made a tweet earlier. I think it was today or yesterday, saying like, "Hey, you thought I was gone? No, I've been working in the shadows this entire time."
Mhm.
And then number
Oh,
three,
and Jim Carrey's back. Yeah.
oh yeah, Jim Carrey. Oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
there you go.
yeah.
Number four. That's a fourth point there. Number three.
Sorry.
Number three, Anakin Skywalker, Hayden Christensen could be playing Shadow.
I
I thought,
fucking
like,
love that
Think
rumor.
about
I'm
that.
wondering.
I
I'm
love that
wondering if that.
rumor.
I'm wondering if that's his laugh at the end of that teaser.
No, it's not. So
No,
here,
it's
let me pull up the teaser. Let me
Go
pull
ahead.
it up here.
Go ahead.
So I've
Go
got
ahead.
it here.
let's go and do it.
That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted.
You're not the main topic. What are we talking
That's
about?
definitely not what I wanted. What the fuck is going on here? What the? Oh, this one. This one. God
Ladies and
damn,
gentlemen, on behalf
Jesus
of
Christ.
Josh,
Yay!
Anyways, I have the topic up. I've got it up. Anyways, so here.
Anyway. Ooh, shiny.
I love
How could
that
you not get
galaxy.
excited for that? How could you
Oh,
not
yeah.
get
I
excited?
love
for
that
The
we have
emblem.
the Sonic Adventures 2
The emblem.
theme song.
The
The
emblem.
emblem as well. It's like, holy shit, there's the Sonic versus Shadow emblem on there, the theme song. This movie is gonna be great. He got the Jim Carrey laugh at the end. He's confirmed to be back. This might be one of his last roles.
Yeah.
This might be one of his last roles.
Honestly,
And they cast Maria already.
that is true. That is true.
They got
I
Christian
have a
Ritter.
thought. Who could be playing
go ahead.
Rouge the Bat or Amy Rose? Who knows who
Either
she could
one.
be playing.
Either one's gonna be great.
I'd
But
love
honestly-
for Rouge. Anyways,
Honestly, as much as I would love to see more, I am honestly good with just 3 movies. I know there's supposed to be a Knuckles TV show on
yeah, there
Paramount
is supposed to be a
Plus or
Knuckles
whatever,
TV show.
but honestly, I don't want there to be another Sonic movie after this. I think 3 is more than enough.
I think no,
Okay.
I would love more. I think 3 is a good stopping point for a time gap, for a time period gap. Like
Hmm.
I think after 3 they should wait maybe 5 years and then do another movie. Have Sonic be a
Okay,
bit more
all right.
grown up, change the voice actor cuz personally I don't like Sonic's voice actor, but that's just me.
Okay.
It's grown on me. I like him.
Yeah, it is
Ben
growing
Schwartz
on
is
me.
great.
Yeah, he's just him in every single role. Just like
Yeah, but
Chris
Ben
Pratt
Schwartz,
is him in every single role.
You got to think about it. Ben Schwartz has been he used to work on Parks and Rec, and he was the one guy that goes, "Don't be suspicious, don't be
Mhm.
suspicious, don't be suspicious." He was that guy that was dancing with the chick in Parks and Rec. And Ben Schwartz, he's just like he's funny.
Oh yeah, no yeah, I don't disagree. He is funny, but
Yeah, he carries that youthful
Plays-
energy that Sonic's
yeah.
supposed to
Oh
have.
yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. But no, I agree. After Sonic 3, I feel like there should be like a time gap, or if anything, to like start like a new trilogy of sorts, like start like a
Yeah.
Sonic Heroes trilogy.
yeah,
Because if
I can
we're
see
already
that.
getting like if we're getting Sonic Adventure 2 storyline in the Sonic 3, then if my memory serves me correct, Sonic Heroes takes place directly after Sonic Adventure 2, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. Someone
I
in
don't know
someone,
stuff.
yeah. If chat, we can get a correction. If not, well, someone correct me, post, and I'll look at it. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm excited for
Oh
Sonic
yeah.
3. I'm so hyped for this movie.
Same. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, so that was that was just a little honorable mention. Something I saw the other day that I was like, hey, this doesn't warrant a full topic, but we could mention it. So yeah. Anyway, so getting into the main topics, I want to preface that I love Megamind. I love the original movie. It is a highly underrated movie by every means. It is the perfect villain turns anti-hero. It has amazing cast with Will Ferrell and Tina Fey, and it's an amazing movie. I
It's got Markiplier in it playing Mega Man, whatever.
yeah, I hate what they've done with this new movie. I'm going to
Wait, is it a
only
movie or is it a show?
it's
That's
a
confusing.
Yeah, I've
movie
heard.
first leading into a TV show.
Oh, one of those gonna do like the whole Disney Plus type thing.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm only going to show the visuals. I'm not going to Jesus, dude.
I'm good.
No.
That
So
was definitely a
I'm only
that,
going to show the visuals. I'm not going to play any audio because I don't want Paramount or I not Peacock Paramount. I don't want Peacock to flag us. So yeah, so this is what we got with this.
I guess for people who aren't going to be watching the video for the most part or just listening, I guess we can just describe it.
Yeah, no, yeah, this just looks it feels like a Netflix sequel series. Like you know those Kung Fu Panda shows that Nickelodeon did?
Oh,
It
those. Yeah.
feels like that. The animation is by no means as good as the original movie. It feels like a completely different team. And they don't even have Tina Fey or Will Ferrell coming back as their
Oh
titular character.
no.
Nope.
It's
Big nope.
just bad. It's like
Big nope.
big no.
Oh, let's go ahead and play it. Let's see what we got because I actually haven't seen word of it.
Yeah, it's like I think you can definitely see the clips from the movie in this trailer, but then you get that. These scenes is just looks really,
Oh, this is
really
Penguins of
bad.
Madagascar level.
Oh yeah, this is definitely one of those types. It looks
Uh, yeah, no, me no want no thank you. I'm good.
He just
I'm
he just
good,
gave
thanks.
he just gave that little girl a grenade.
oh yeah, he did.
Oh
So
my
the
god, they got
premise,
Bomb Voyage
yeah, they
from
do.
The
So
Incredibles.
the premise of this is his old villain crew finds out that he turned hero or anti-hero, and they just go against him. They just decide to fight him, and it's I understand the concept, but it just does not look very well executed.
I I kind of expected something like this to happen if there was ever going to be a sequel.
Hmm.
But just looking at this, oh no,
Just so I highly
I don't.
recommend looking up this trailer and just or looking up clips or just images. The little girl that is prominently shown throughout this trailer looks horrible. Like the animation for the girl looks horrible. It's just
I mean, okay, look, it's
very
not. I wouldn't say it's completely bad. It's got definitely got some like animation points that lacks from the original, but it's not completely bad. I might check it out if it comes or
to,
once it's
to
out on
me,
streaming
like
platforms.
to
It
me,
feels it feels very it feels very mid 2000s animation.
that's what it is. That's what it is. You know what this reminds me of?
Hmm.
Remember how you all seen the Jimmy Neutron movie, right?
Yeah,
Like
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
you
Love
compare
it.
the movie to the TV show, you can clearly tell the level of quality comparing the TV show and the movie. It's drastically different. Like
oh
when I
yeah.
look at when you look at the movie of say Megamind, for example, it's got that cinematic flair that we all crave to see from a giant, a juggernaut animation studio, right?
Hmm.
But when
Hmm.
you see something like this, like there's something like they scale it back and they give us this. So it
They
just
lack the presentation.
bingo.
They
That's
lack the
it's
presentation.
To quote
Yes.
Megamind, they lack presentation.
bingo.
I mean, it's I might.
Yeah, it's
It,
interesting that
I
you
agree.
bring up Jim. It's interesting that you bring up Jimmy Neutron because the TV show I enjoyed to a point, but yeah, it wasn't. It's not as good as the movie, but some of the episodes are pretty good. I loved the Jimmy Timmy Power Hour episode specials.
Mm.
Those ones were
Those
always really
those
good.
are fun. Those are stupid fun. I love
Those were
them.
definitely super fun. But yes, I will agree that the animation quality between the movie and the TV show of both properties, Megamind and Jimmy Neutron, was drastically different. So we'll have to see. We'll definitely have to see. But the problem is, this is a movie. Like this is a full on movie, and it's this animation.
It's the equivalent of a direct to video, or in this case, direct to streaming movie. But whatever.
Yeah,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah. That's kind of what it feels like, honestly. I mean, I can only assume that their resources are going towards the Shrek sequel that's coming out soon. I guess like next year or something. I don't know, but I know there's
Shrek
a
Five.
Shrek sequel. Yeah, Shrek 5. I know Shrek 5's in the works.
Yeah,
Which
they did.
I
They did tease it at the end of the last Puss in Boots movie.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
kind of
they did.
did.
They did. They absolutely
Mike
did.
Myers has been open to like voicing Shrek again, so I mean, I wouldn't see why not. I don't know about Cameron
Hmm.
Diaz's stay. I know Eddie Murphy would love to come back as Donkey.
I don't think he's really done much besides Donkey, but yeah,
Yeah, no, it's just
I should say since Donkey, but yeah.
it's
Um,
it's he's done some work. He's done Coming to America too for Amazon Prime.
yeah, yeah, that
He's
did
done
happen.
also he's done like this one movie where he plays like a father like I guess giving approval to like his daughter is getting married to a white dude who's like kind of like urban.
Oh, ooh,
It's one of those
yeah.
films, but it's like I think it's he's talking to Jonah Hill
I
or something like that. It's
Yeah,
a
it was
Jonah Hill
Jonah
Eddie
Hill.
Murphy movie. Yeah, so
I
it's one of those
remember
films.
that. I remember hearing people saying it wasn't very good.
I mean,
Coming
yeah,
Home America too. Yeah, it's not that good at all.
No,
Uh,
not Coming to America too. The Jonah Hill Eddie Murphy one. But yeah, I
it's on
do know what
Netflix,
you're
I think.
talking about. Yeah, I do know what you're talking about, and
mm,
yeah, that one just painted him in the light as a total douche. But yeah, I yeah
Coming to yeah, but yeah, Coming to America too was okay-ish, but yeah, that's
yeah
yeah.
okay.
But no, reeling back in, but Megabind, yeah, I mean, it looks okay, but it's not the first one. You can only it's not uncommon to not strike lightning in a bottle twice with a sequel. I mean, the
Hmm.
only ones that
Hmm.
have successfully done it is Spider-Man 2, but Spider-Man 3, that's more so like the executive stirring the soup pot, and there was too many cooks in the kitchen, so that's one example of why it didn't do well. Sonic is just another example, just to give a little more mention to Sonic here. Sonic has been on a roll. I think Sonic 3 will also be,
It's been on a roll.
yeah, pun intended.
ha 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 ha. Very fun.
But yeah, also the Shrek series, like Shrek 1, 2, and 3, I think were good. Shrek 4, I haven't really seen, so I can't really give my full opinion on it. But yeah, I
I
mean,
like
I've only ever
Shrek
seen
1
very.
was
Shrek one and
fine.
two, but yeah.
The first Shrek was fine. Shrek 2 is one of the greatest comedies
Oh yes,
ever. Shrek 3 is whatever. It's fine. As a kid, I hated. Now I just think it's okay. Okay, it is
yeah.
what it is. Shrek Forever After. gets hated on for some reason. I don't know why. I actually enjoy Forever After. It's a decent sequel. It's not that bad. It's actually a pretty okay film. So.
I guess
Okay.
the ones who hated it, they didn't get the roar in their movie because they didn't ask their dad to do the roar.
Yeah,
Do the
the
roar,
right.
daddy. I love
Uh,
you, daddy. No, but
Jason
no,
was
it's
good.
not uncommon for like animation movies or live action movies or whatever movies to do horrible with their sequels. It's not uncommon.
It really
Yeah,
isn't.
it
It
really
really
isn't.
isn't. Like a certain Suicide Squad game. Oh wait, never mind. Moving on.
Uh,
I've seen. Anyways, yeah. So I just wanted to mention that it's like I loved Megamind as a kid, and I just thought this was a really bad way to continue the character's journey. So I'm gonna check it out, but I don't have much hope for it. Speaking of things I don't have much hope for anymore, Netflix's live action Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh
oh,
So
boy.
let me get all
yeah.
this. Let me get all this out. This is one of those series where the showrunners of the show should have just shut the fuck up from the beginning and let
Mhm.
people discover shit
Mhm.
while it was streaming. Because oh my god! Now there are some drastically differing opinions on these topics. The first being Netflix's Avatar: The Last Airbender is going to change drastically the characterization of Sokka, meaning that he will not be a sexist misogynist anymore during this 8 episode run or during this 3 season series. That is
You're basically taking away a
that,
core aspect of the character.
that I mean that the decision is good and bad. I say good because we need less sexism in media for men or women, but bad because
Oh,
sexism is his entire character arc. He basically grew up in a village of all women. All the men had gone off to fight the war between fight the war with the Fire Nation. So he had grown up with all women around him, and his ideals are just very skewed. And he learns this. Thankfully enough, he learns that he needs to be better by meeting the Kyoshi warriors and Suki. So it's gonna be very difficult to watch. It's gonna be interesting to see what they actually do, and
the
it
the the
also
showrun
it also
the
sucks
showrunners.
because the actor for Sokka, Ian Osley, lied that he was native. Yeah.
The showrunners are
Should have
doing
just
the
got my ass.
exact. The showrunners are doing the exact same dumbass mistake that the Halo showrunners did for season one. They should have just shut the fuck up and just advertised the show as it is. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gotten as much hate. But too late. It's getting hate now.
I
Congratulations.
do want to touch up on that, but really quick, I did not know about the whole thing with the actor lying about his nationality. Just why? Next thing
Yeah.
you know, they're gonna call him Sokka instead of Sokka.
Oh, if they do that, everybody is rioting.
No, it's
Mm.
just
Yeah.
okay. So like, here's my problem with the Netflix Avatar now. Like, I was so looking forward to it with the promo art, the fact that you got the original creators on there, and then on top of that, the cast looked fucking phenomenal. Everyone
Mhm.
looks amazing. Like, it's just it looks so promising. And then truth comes out. Like, it's all started. This all started when the original creators left due to creative
Or
differences.
drastic
And
creative differences.
Oh,
drastic creative differences, and that was the major red flag that literally shifted everything downwards. Everyone knew from that point on something is up, and we are expecting bad things to come out of this now. Even probably it's not on the lines of like M Night Shyamalama Ding Dong's uh, Avatar, but it's still bad. Then the stuff came out. There's not going to be the sexism character arc of Sokka, so the Kyoshi warrior arc is going to feel very freaking empty. Two, Aang is not going to be a freaking child. He just wants to go out and ride the elephant koi. Like he wants to go out and be a child. He wants to go and do like childish things, but they'd scrap that for a more serialized drama. It's like, okay, well, here's the thing: if Aang really wanted to be that serious about, getting from point A to point B, oh, I got to go save the North Water Village, he wouldn't have ran away in the first place and trapped himself into the ice ball. There wouldn't have been no point in time where it's like, oh, okay, cool, I'm the Avatar now. Okay, I guess I got responsibilities to do. Versus, I'm gonna be Avatar. Oh no, hey, I'm just gonna go for a walk. Runs away.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I will say they're not only getting rid of Sokka's sexism, they're getting rid of the entire sexism character arc for Katara as well. Like, Katara will not have that sexism shoved on her throughout this series. Like,
Oh right, with the
she's
whole
not going to
water
have
village
to
thing.
fight for her position as a powerful waterbender in the north water
You're gonna have to
village.
send me this. You're gonna have to send me this article because there's no way they're not going to do that. That was literally the pivotal moment of Katara's character. Like, are you kidding?
You
Oh yeah, I am.
basically
I am
Oh my
extremely
you're
god.
confident.
you're you're recreating the show, but none of the intrigue of what made the show amazing to begin with. All of this, like, and not only that, right? But like, keep in mind, the show was primarily made for kids, right?
Hmm.
Kids need to
The
learn
blueprint is
all
right
this
there.
shit. Kids
Yes,
need
The
to
this,
learn
blueprint
all.
is right there. How could they just?
and then they go and
You're getting me
say,
fired up right now. Oh
I
my god.
understand.
and then they go and say, you know, we understand that this has a following. I'm not quoting word for word, by the way. It's just what I remember. We understand this
Paraphrasing.
has yeah, paraphrasing. That's the one. We understand this has a following, but we're gonna go and we want to bring in the crowd. We want to make it more serious tone. We want to bring in the crowd of Game of Thrones. We want to make it more Game of Thrones esque, and
You don't
that's
need
not what the
to.
fucking show is.
You don't need to make it Game of Thrones. Just make it
I
Avatar. That's all you need. You
You
don't
see.
need to
can
This
do
is
anything.
you
Avatar
can
this
was
is
make
why I refuse to watch Game of Thrones. This is one of the main reasons why I refuse to watch Game of Thrones, because it's like, oh, hey, well, Game of
uh,
Thrones did this. They set the tone. They did not have to set the tone as to like, oh, well, everything needs to look medieval. Everything needs to have death. Everything needs to have nudity, massive amounts of
Game
nudity.
of
Everything
Thrones
has
is
to
not
have
the
just like
blueprint for
by,
everything.
by the way,
literally.
my buddy Steve is actually in the chat. He's representing Crimson Arms Gaming. By the way, we both run this Twitch channel. By the way, he mentioned something really important. Game of Thrones should be now considered a red flag. The final season was such a dumpster fire that anyone trying to make a show like it should be dropped immediately. Like, no, stop it. Just if you want to make a show, and if you want to make us take that show seriously, fine, go ahead. But do not compare it to a show that had had a decent start and a shitty ending. Just don't. Okay?
Honestly, they're just caught up on the fact, producers and executives and higher ups, big wigs, they're so caught up on the fact that Game of Thrones did so many awards at the Emmys, so many Golden Globe awards, that there's like, oh well, we gotta have that again. We gotta capture that lightning in a bottle once more. And then look what happened with The Witcher. Look what's happening now with the Avatar. Look what's happening with some other show. It's there's no need. There's no need to copy paste Game of Thrones show running antics and put it onto a show that literally does not call for it. The Witcher didn't need it. Avatar, The Last Airbender certainly does not need it. Because get this, before there was even the fallout of, or sorry, it was after the fallout of the original creators. There was talks about they were going to age up the characters. to have certain romance scenes in there. So like,
Mm-hmm.
why? There is no need. This is literally a 12-year-old, 14, like teenagers, like they're little kids in a teen. Like, just don't. There's no need.
I
They
can
are
understand.
literally
I can under.
teens.
I can understand changing certain aspects because, like, this is a show that came out like years ago, and you need to change some things, but not to the point where it changes the fundamental qualities of that show.
Now,
You're like,
speaking of changing major aspects of the show, they have come out on record and said that they want this series to progress more naturally as in real world, because you can see in interviews the actors don't look very much like how they did when they were first cast. They grew up a lot more. So the
Well,
showrunners
yeah.
want the actors, want the show to progress a lot longer, to have more time and between the beginning and the finale. They
Which is
also said they also said that Sozin's comment isn't going to be the main linchpin in the story or the main driving force. That's the one. It's not going to be the main driving force
ow.
throughout the series. It will still be in the show, but I am assuming that it will be discovered or referenced or brought into effect more towards the third season, maybe towards the later of the second season. And that will
like, okay.
drive up the anticipation, the sense of urgency for the final season.
So here's where I'm going to lay into that. Yes, I'm completely on board with the whole, like, aging them up if they have to, because it's how adaptations work. You gotta have to have some limitations to what an adaptation should be.
Mhm.
Yeah, it would be great if we can get like part one, two, three, if they're still the same age, going forward, that would be great. But at the same time, it's like, these actors are going to grow up. There's not much we can do in between production where like CGI can only do so much.
Mhm.
Otherwise, you get like a It Chapter 2 situation with Finn Wolfhard. But um,
Yeah,
the whole
I,
thing
I
with
would say
Frozen
I would say
Comet,
Stranger Things. I would say Stranger Things as well because
yeah,
yeah,
no,
but
the
yeah.
whole thing with Frozen Comet though, that is very mind-boggling. Why did they think that's a good idea? Like,
Now, I can understand
is
their point, and I can understand it to to a degree. Like it can still be a driving force later on in the series. Like I could see them going. We'll have Aang start to learn how to airbend, how or not airbend. Yeah, already knows how to
Waterbend, Firebend,
waterbend,
Earthbend.
firebend, earthbend, and then maybe they're in the library and they learn about the comet that way.
Is
I'm
that
not.
not how they found out?
No, they found out in one of the first in one of the first few episodes.
Interesting. Oh, no, no, I think it was the eclipse that they
They
found,
found
and
out
it
the
was the
eclipse.
eclipse in the library. Yeah, that's right.
They might. I could see them substituting the eclipse for Sozin's comet.
Well, they're gonna have to figure something out. This show has got to deliver because they're already on a freaking train of like backlash right now. It's not good.
Not good at
I'm
all.
I'm I'm now scared of who are they going to get for Toph now, if that's going to be the case.
Oh, I am definitely concerned now that you mentioned that. Holy cow! Mhm.
I honestly wouldn't mind if it's The Rock. just play, just play into the Kyoshi Island, the Kyoshi
Oh
Island, or
no.
not, the Ember Island.
Well, we can only hope that this show does somewhat of a decent job. But whatever. That's my 2 cents. I'm done about this. I'm done.
It's it's
Anyway,
just been a shit
God.
show. It's been a shit show announcement after shit show announcement. It's
mm,
I'm still looking forward to this, but at the same time, my expectations are so much lower than what they originally were.
Breaking news: Chris Pratt has been casted as Toph.
No! Oh God, no!
But actual breaking news: Starfield is apparently heading to PS5 for some reason. Okay.
Okay.
This is
Moving on.
desperate. Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty desperate. Anyway,
Don't care. Yeah. So I've never played Starfield, so I don't give a shit.
me neither. Actually, what's
Star
actually rather
Truckers. Star Truckers. I'm interested in.
what's actually rather interesting. Just about a week ago, I actually was visiting a random Walmart because I need to get some supplies here and there, and I walked past the gaming aisle. They're selling not the premium edition, whatever the fuck it's called. That's like $30 right now. But I saw them selling copies of just the standard edition of Starfield for 3 cents.
For how much?
3 cents, apparently. I didn't get it because apparently I didn't like. There was no copies left. They were all being recalled or whatever. But
All right. Well,
yeah.
weird. Anyways, so yeah, speaking of shit shows, this next topic is something I'm going to call stupid of the week with 3 O's. Stupid with 3 O's.
Stupid.
That being the congressional hearing for I can't even say it. So Congress had all the major social media sites. You had X,
Excuse me.
TikTok, you
Excuse me for a
had
moment. I'll be right
Meta, you had Instagram, all those. They brought them up to talk about child safety, which obviously is important.
What the hell's X? Are you talking about Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah, we call it Twitter. It's
Yeah.
it's what the hell's X? Well, I'd never
What
heard
did
of
I
X.
say? I said X.
I think you said X, but it's we
Anyways.
always dead name it.
Yeah.
It's not X.
The
'Cause
only
Elon
thing
Musk
we
prefers it.
it's the only thing we dead name. Anyways, so Congress brought in all the major social media sites to talk about child safety, which obviously is important. But that's not really what they actually got into, laid into.
It's Congress.
They
always
brought
want
this
to.
man, Shou Chu, sorry. They brought this man, Shou Chu, onto the stand, and
From
they
what I
kept
remember seeing, they tried to
bombarding.
crucifying him. They were trying to
Yeah, they
crucify him
kept
for.
asking over and over and over. It's like, are you a Chinese citizen? No, I'm Singaporean. So have you been part of the Chinese Communist Party? I'm Singaporean. Like,
So
holy
I
shit, are these
understand
people
how
stupid?
I understand how some of the press conference stuff that they do works. Like they have to ask all the questions on record, but at the same time, it's like if they answer towards a question that literally answers all the other questions you're about to ask, negate all the other questions from that standpoint. Like from that point on, stop asking if
Exactly.
they are of Chinese or of nationality or whatever. Just stop asking that question. It's
Sorry
ridiculous.
about that.
It's
I
not.
had to scream to the high heavens outside for a moment because
Yeah.
it's just utter stupidity of what's going on in Congress right now.
You're fine, man. The world is crazy right now. The world is definitely crazy.
It really
Yeah,
is.
But no, just
I
just
really
like I saw bits and pieces of what the whole CEO TikTok and then Mark Zuckerberg's type thing, whatever Ted
Mhm.
Cruz. That was hilarious, by the way. But the whole thing with like TikTok CEO, like it's ridiculous. It's redundant, and the fact that they're still trying to like get under the skin of TikTok. It's like you're not going to work. You're
like they're still
doing
trying
this.
to control TikTok when they're never going to
It's
be allowed.
election year. That's why they
Yeah,
tried this
exactly.
shit back in 2020. They tried to
Mhm.
do this shit with like, oh, we gotta ban TikTok because of how much power was used to like buy all of the audience members of Trump's fucking rally.
I will say, I will give all the props to my man, Mr. Shou Chu, for having the patience of a fucking saint with all these idiotic questions.
Yeah, he
I,
handled it like a champ. I gotta give him that.
the dude runs TikTok. Pretty much the entire app is filled with like stupidity, stupid kids, and then stupid people doing stupid things. So I can imagine that patience came naturally.
Hmm. Yeah.
But no, good job, man. Good freaking job. Like, just Congress, just whenever it comes to something like that, I'm still waiting to hear back on the whole UFO UAP Congress meeting. I'm still waiting to hear on that because I remember that being a big freaking deal, and I want to hear more about what's going on behind closed doors as far as like what the aliens are being kept. Where, like, what is the government hiding
It's
from
not
us?
Area
What
51 anymore.
declassified? No, it's not. It's really not because apparently the Vatican has had parts in this shit as well.
Really? I did not know that.
So supposedly, and
Please tell.
I'm kind of gonna go into like tinfoil hat territory here.
Oh,
Just,
dude. Let's go.
just
Let's fucking go.
this again. This is tinfoil hat territory. Like, I promise you, I'm not crazy. This is what I'm going off of what I've heard and read. So I think it was what, World War II or somewhere there around that time period. The Vatican had came into contact with some alien technology or some alien like beings, whatever. Then a bunch of American soldiers showed up on like around that time, and just posted up like, hey, you can't be here, you can't be around this area, this is like security risk, military business. Okay, why? Because the Vatican was making a deal with the American government or something of that nature. It's something along the lines of that. I'm paraphrasing at this point, to where in order to keep the Vatican in charge of the country or whatever, they wanted to go ahead and give some alien tech or some alien information over to America. So that's why some things have been like skewered or redacted on certain files regarding the exchange of like what's been going on between Italy and America at that time. Again, I'm paraphrasing. I could be. I'm probably remembering this wrong, but at the same time, I know for a fact that makes sense
No, yeah,
because the Vatican keeps a lot of secrets.
Vatican does keep a lot of secrets. Haven't you seen Aliens and Aliens and Demons, Da Vinci Code, all that? Dude, they keep a lot of secrets. No, yeah, I know those
Yeah,
are
Da Vinci.
movies.
Yeah, Da Vinci. Yeah,
Okay.
it was deep. Yeah.
No, yeah, yeah, fucking, do I believe in aliens? Yes. Do I think they've come? Maybe, maybe not. They could have come and seen us as the Florida of the universe.
I mean, do you believe in the theory that they're really just trying to get us ready for their intergalactic federation? They're literally keeping tabs on Earth and saying like, "Hey, they're not ready. They're about ready to destroy themselves, so we shouldn't just invite them on the council."
I mean, that would make the most logical sense. Just nuke them. Like, please,
Probably.
yes, nuke us. We need it. Just nuke us.
The Vatican, probably. To answer your question, the Vatican, yeah, probably. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. So, but yeah, going back to Congress for just a second. It's really just stupid how these people get paid to ask these ridiculous questions, to pull innocent people up and just demand to know everything about you. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I will say safety for children is a very good subject.
I
Not
agree.
really what they actually did.
Indeed. No, when it comes to social media, yeah, kids at the age of 13, there's tweens. They're susceptible. We all remember us like being tweens and like doing some really raunchy, cringy shit. But kids nowadays, they have literally supercomputers. They have information in their hands. They can get their information anywhere from at any point in time. Whether it be if they don't have their phone because they're grounded, or they have their friend's tablet or their friend's computer, or hell, even the freaking refrigerator at home that supposedly
Yeah.
has internet. They've come out with refrigerators that have internet on there that you can browse the web on, and it's insane. But no, just like kids safety, I completely agree that there should be a limit of where the line should be. Or no, there's no, sorry. Hold on, let me see if I'm wording this right. There should be a line, like an actual grounded line of where the limit is or where the line is crossed of where child safety is. Like, because you got so much human trafficking going on. You got kids who are susceptible to believing links or believing truths of the matter of like, hey, come over here, come talk to me or whatever, come follow this link and you can gain 1,000 followers, whatever, not knowing that they've accidentally expose themselves, expose their location and their well-being and their own
Mm-hmm.
safety to some hacker or someone that's literally going to bag them and tag them and sell them off to the black market.
Never
That
trust
should be.
those. Never trust those Arabian princes.
There's also you also have to consider the factor that like a lot of these kids these days, it sucks to admit it, but a lot of these kids these days they're not being raised by actual fucking moms and dads. Like this, they're like the parents are allowing this right here to become a parent. Like
Yeah, that's
it's
their mom and dad.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's really fucking sad, but that's the
Yeah.
truth.
It's really sad. No, just like kids, they need more grounded structure. They need to for lack of better words to over to just to use the meme again. They need to go touch grass. just
Literally,
just to
literally.
yeah. Um, and I mean that sincerely. Yeah, it's a meme, it's a joke, but at the same time, it's like
There's
it's
some truth
vital.
behind it. There's
Mm-hmm.
there's some,
There's some actual truth behind it. Like
Oh,
they need
definitely.
to actually watch shows that have more meaning to them. Like they need to like just take a minute to watch Sesame Street in the morning, man. Just like watch Sesame Street in the morning, watch Blue's Clues, watch like the old cartoons and stuff. Stop watching like Bluey, if anything, that's
Oh
the more
hell yeah,
grounded.
Bluey.
Bluey's like I've watched a couple of episodes and Bluey is fantastic. It's a
Oh,
fantastic show.
absolutely. Makes me cry every single time I watch
Oh yeah,
certain
no, it
episodes.
really hits. It really hits. But no, just kids today, man. They just need to like wake the hell up and just realize that, they have a dangerous amount of power that is being used irresponsibly.
Very much. Um, I know for each different topic I just say. Speaking of, but really speaking of uh, power and all that, I don't know.
Dangerous power.
Dangerous power. That's the word.
atomic power.
Speaking of
Atomic power.
atomic
We're
power,
getting it. Yep.
dangerous power, let's talk about Godzilla -1
My
because
son.
I wanted.
I'm looking forward to this Oscar nomination. I'm looking forward to the Oscars. I swear, because if there's going to be a snub of a Godzilla -1, if there's going to be a snub of them that rightfully deserves their nomination and winning, there's going to be a massive amount of back. Like, just look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. On a less than $10 million budget, I might add.
This like I was debating which was my favorite movie of 2023 for like before December. Obviously, it was teetering on Oppenheimer, which could be viewed as the perfect prequel to Godzilla -1 if you really think
It's a
about it.
spiritual prequel, if anything.
Yep, there we go. But like I was not expecting how hard this movie was going to hit, especially on an emotional level. Because like when we go
Dude.
see a Godzilla movie, we generally go to see it for the destruction, guy in a rubber suit, or in this case, a giant CGI monster wrecking some shit up here and there. But this movie, I don't know how many times I cried watching a Godzilla movie of all movies.
See,
Oh,
like
big time.
this
Yeah.
is if there's any notes that need to be taken for future MonsterVerse movies here in America that need to like they just need to watch this movie over and over again to study the character development, to study the writing, because
Yeah.
that's how you write
And you
human
know damn
characters
well they're never going to do
into the
that.
MonsterVerse. Well, I mean, they kind of have been doing it with Monarch. I actually watched all of
I need to
Monarch, and
see that. I'm ashamed I haven't gotten to that yet. I need to watch that.
It's an
Yeah.
okay show.
It's actually fills in the gaps for a lot of things between 2014 Godzilla to now. It provides a
it
lot of
does.
gaps filled.
It,
It fills in the holes.
does.
But yeah, like if anything, just America needs to take notes from this movie overall, just for any future project, future writing, future script writing, whatever. Because this is how you write character. This is how you write drama. This is how you write a fucking movie. This
like
is how you write a
literally
monster movie.
Literally with one movie, Hollywood has been put to shame.
Yeah. Less than $10 million. Less than
Less-
$10 million versus
it's
like
$15
Ezra
million.
Miller's The Flash, $200 million. Look how crappy that shit was.
$15 million versus The Flash.
And this movie like overwhelmingly made its budget back, and then like 10 times more.
Big time. And
Yep.
so Godzilla -1 has finished its run over here in theaters, and it finished that with a week long special run called Godzilla minus one minus color. And
which
that was basically
The
a
black and white
full
version.
on black and white version of the show or of the
and it
movie.
wasn't just desaturated. No, it was specially color graded.
Oh yeah. Yes. And you can tell the love they put into this.
Yeah, no, the vignette, the actual look of the 1954 aura that was generating, just oh my god. No, if this movie is to set anything, it is to set the new era of Godzilla films because this is literally the new 1954.
Yep,
Oh, absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
agree. I couldn't agree more.
And I love this movie because it was the first time in a while that a Godzilla movie had me emotionally invested in the human characters. And
Yes.
Japan can almost always get me invested in human characters because they understand the human element a lot better than America does.
Hmm.
But this really hit me in the gut. Like it
It did.
really hit upon the fact that
Yeah,
Godzilla is and always has been and always will be the villain of the story.
he's literally
Speaking
the
speaking of
force
which, speaking of
of what
which,
human
like
manifestation could do.
this hear me out here. This reminded me of the original
Deep in the story.
Jaws in terms of like having to be truly terrified by the title character because like
Oh yeah.
for years now like they always looked at Godzilla as either this force of destruction to a fucking superhero apparently to to uh to just like just whatever but this reminded us that Godzilla is not just a random giant monster that comes out of the ocean and whatnot. Like literal force of destruction is quite the understatement here. I like the first time he popped up on that island at the beginning of the movie. I was just holy crap! I was terrified.
Yeah, Godzillasaurus Rex.
And
That
what's
genuinely terrified me.
and what's cool is that the director of the movie has confirmed that Godzilla was not a product of the atomic bomb testing. Like this Godzilla had existed long before the testing of the bomb. Like this whole bigified, just gigantic crustaceous looking motherfucker is the result of the bomb testing. But what we saw on the island in the beginning of the movie, that is just a pure blooded monster.
See, where I take
Like a natural.
similarities from the original 1954 to now, the original 1954, they had journalists going to explore Odo Island, which again,
Mhm.
Odo Island got introduced into 1954, and sure enough, they go to Odo Island in this movie. Had journalists going over there to like study like life or study the natives, whatever, and then they run into Godzilla, who's already like of size,
Yeah.
Hmm.
of 50 meters. He was already like of like a 50-meter titan, like a 50-meter tall titan, that just walked the island. And now, like with this new iteration, you got this guy, you got this thing, this beast roaming around, just and the natives are fully aware of what this thing can do. And
Hmm.
the Bikini Atoll, right then and there, I was like, oh, there's something's got to happen, something's got to trigger this dude to even come out of or come off the island. And sure enough, the Bikini Atoll testing, which I love the general uh or sorry, the flow of it all because it's coming right off World War II, and the U.S. and the Soviets are going at each other, whatever, because the whole Red Scare thing was ramping up.
Yeah.
Because Oppenheimer, spiritual predecessor, or spiritual prequel, it dives into that. And if you've watched Oppenheimer, all of that makes much more sense and much more deeper. The lore just blows wide the fuck open with
Yeah,
this movie because you're like, whoa, wait a minute, hold on, wait, that's the hydrogen, bomb, that's what, oh my god, because now you're all of a sudden you're not just watching Godzilla and be like, oh yeah, Godzilla, and then you're just like,
You're
oh
watching
shit,
history.
it's like, oh shit, it's Godzilla, run, run, you actually
Oh
feel
yes.
fear,
well,
you
what's
feel fear, and this is the first time in a while since I was a child that I felt fear for Godzilla. And oh my god, this movie just
This
I can't wait
movie
for that Blu-ray.
does a very good job at making an impact whenever Godzilla is on scene, making
Yep.
sure that you
That
understand that
atomic
this
breath.
is not going to go away. Just the fact that, yes, like you said, the atomic breath scene was amazingly beautiful.
Like what's actually rather interesting is that like the way he does it, like like it builds up from the tail and whatnot slowly.
Hmm.
Like at first, I like it reminded me of the MonsterVerse version of Godzilla, how he did his atomic breath, but
Oh
the
yeah.
the impact of that atomic breath was something that I don't think anybody else was expecting. Like just like just like
The
The
level of
dude
production
literally
was
shoots
amazing.
atomic bombs. He shoots atomic bombs.
Yeah.
And here's a little bit of a fun fact for you guys. Takashi Yamazaki, the director, brilliant filmmaker, by the way. This is actually his second time showcasing a CGI Godzilla. In fact, he previously depicted Godzilla in CGI. His first full-blown CGI appearance
Oh yeah, I
is
remember
in
this.
the 2007 film Always Sunset on Third Street 2. He just makes it a random cameo appearance. So
It
like
was it was just it was a dream sequence. That's what it was. Because I remember
Mm.
seeing this iteration of Godzilla. I was like, wait, I've never seen this film. I've never seen this short before. What is this? And then I got introduced to that film, and sure enough, like that was gorgeous. That was
yeah.
a brilliant way to do Godzilla and encapsulate, the destruction of this monster.
Like
So when I
this
heard
is
that this guy was coming in to not only direct but
Mhm.
help animate and write this movie, oh, I already knew I was expecting the fucking bomb, like a banger.
Oh, and he also did Lupin Third the First, by the way. Just
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Very, very good. Another very good movie. So, yeah, this is by far my favorite Godzilla design. And
Oh
what's
yeah,
even more amazing and more special about this is the fact that Godzilla is barely on screen throughout this movie.
mm,
Like, he only shows up 3 or 4 times. But
yep,
those 3 or 4 times make an impact.
oh
yes,
yeah,
And
they,
no, no, it's
holy shit.
almost as if you don't want him to come back in his own film. It's just like what he's
Yeah.
capable of doing. You're almost scared to even see him on screen again. Like the boat chasing scene alone
Hmm.
was just pure fear. That was pure fear.
Pure
I
this is
would be
where
nightmare
scared
fuel.
shitless if I
This
saw
is
that.
where the Jaws comparison comes in. Like I
Yeah.
was immediately thinking back to Jaws, but in a much larger scale, obviously. But it was
Oh,
still frighteningly well done. I love that scene so much so. And the thing is, you can't stop this thing. You just can't. No matter how hard you
No,
try, you just can't. And that's what makes it terrifying.
and I
no, and
loved
that's
I
good.
I also loved that it wasn't until we got to see him fully on land that we got his iconic theme song, like his
Yep,
Mm,
iconic score.
yep,
yep.
yep.
No, what I
And
do love about the boat chasing scene is that I forget if it was either I forgot how you pronounce it,
the
but
director,
I'm yeah, the right.
uh,
It's either the director said it or someone of that team that said this. But I remember reading saying that Godzilla literally could have just ended him. It could have just ended that entire team on the boat, but he
mhm.
was playing with his food, and that right there was like the fact that you introduced that characteristic onto this monster specifically. That's terrifying. That is very much terrifying because you saw how quick he was agile towards the warship and just tore that thing apart. He was literally just testing the small boat just to see how much fun he can get out of this thing.
Oh yeah,
And right there, that is Godzilla. That is Godzilla. It's not just pure destruction. That thing literally is intelligent and will fuck you up. That right, like just again,
Yep.
that scene alone made me terrified. I was shaking in my seat with it. Like I was like,
Yeah.
dude, get away, get away, get away, please, get out. Throw whatever ammunition you can do to get rid of this thing. Go.
and the
My
fact.
only go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Go ahead. No,
And
I was gonna say
the fact
One,
that okay,
two, three,
the
four.
fact that this Godzilla has such a powerful regenerative ability is terrifying in itself,
Mhm.
especially the final scene of the movie.
Right.
It puts Wolverine to shame.
Yeah.
it
Um,
it makes me want a sequel, and they have talked about possibly doing a sequel.
my
Oh yeah,
only
no, I hope so.
only minor issue with the film, and this is just a giant issue that I have with almost every other kaiju film in general,
Hmm.
is like it's the scenes where the human characters are coming together to formulate a plan to stop the monster, and like, where the fuck is Godzilla? Like, he just like he caused massive damage to Tokyo, right? Then just like he just fucks off. He just goes to have a fucking picnic where everybody's like, okay, this is what we need to do. We're gonna take at least a few days to find this person, that person. Like, where the fuck is Godzilla? Imagine a Godzilla movie one day where they're actually coming up with a plan to defeat the monster, and all of a sudden Godzilla just shows the fuck up out of nowhere and starts wrecking more shit. That would, like, think about that for a second, right?
I
Like,
mean, that's literally
I
what he did
believe
at the end of the
I believe
movie.
that was Shin Gojira.
I gotta see that movie again. It's been a
I believe that
while.
was Shin Godzilla in 2016. I believe that was the same thing as well.
I gotta see that movie again. But like that's like my only. It's a minor gripe, but it's not one that to ultimately destroy the movie for me. Just
Right.
getting that out there. So.
Yeah.
No, I loved what I did love, like when it comes to the human element. I did love the writing when it came to addressing Japan's failures of like how they treated their soldiers back then and how
Hmm.
like they're
Yeah.
so anti-war or anti-kamikaze. Because I loved that they incorporated that into their own. Um, this is a true war film. This is a true war film slash monster movie. It's a great wake up call to like saying like, hey, maybe we should have been like a little more respective of like valuable of life. This whole thing about you got to be a kamikaze pilot, you got to do plane crashes with no ejection seats, you got to have well formulated trade routes that didn't leave our country to perish and whatnot. Like it's there's a lot of bad blood when it comes to World War II. There's a lot of history when it comes to wars with each country. America, God knows, like we are drenched in blood. We are swimming in a pool of that. But
Deadpool, if you
every
will.
other a Deadpool, yeah, there you go. But every other country itself, just with like every war movie that comes out, every war documentary that comes out, it's just like I really hope that the world wakes up and sees that hey, these movies exist to paint the picture of like, hey, don't let this shit happen again.
Hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But history shows again and again that nature points out the failure of men.
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
History shows again and again how nature points out the folly of man. Godzilla.
That I will say was a great song. That being said, we have time for one more topic, and obviously it's the last topic. I
Speaking
will.
of nature versus man,
Yeah, speaking of nature versus man, I want to preface this beforehand, saying that I have not I have not read the entire Percy Jackson novelization.
there's a lot of books.
I've only read 1 and 2, and I haven't read them in a year or so. So my memory of the complete storyline is very fuzzy. That being said, I do remember quite a bit, and I just want to talk about my thoughts real quick on the show before anyone else. So,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
my personal feelings on this show is it's an okay adaptation, but it's not great. Like, this feels very rushed for a complete story. Like, the story is rushed. They change a lot of the elements, a lot of these story points around. They bring in story points from other books as well. And it does not completely feel like the adventure of the lightning thief that I remember from the book. They miss a lot they skip over a lot of details, a lot of story points as well. One of those being that Percy Jackson is extremely new to this way of life, to this environment, and he immediately knows every single thing that happens or a person that comes up. Like he sees Medusa. Hey, that's Medusa. I remember in the book, and you guys might remember differently. I remember they pulled up on Medusa. They took a minute to find out who she was. Like they didn't immediately recognize her. I I also I want to say I love the interpretation, the portrayal of Hades in this. I absolutely loved Adam Copeland as, did I say Hades or Ares?
You meant Ares.
Yes, I absolutely love Adam
You're talking
Copeland
about Adam.
as,
If you're talking about Edge, you're gonna talk. You're gonna talk about Ares.
yeah, I absolutely love the portrayal of Ares in this. I loved Adam Copeland as Ares. I don't remember him being a prominent figure in the story, let alone being one of the driving forces of the lightning bolt getting stolen. That being said, I don't mind him being part of that in this story. He was great in this portrayal. He was great in this portrayal, but I wish they had stuck a bit closer to the story than they actually did. Now, getting to Hades, I loved Hades. I absolutely loved Hades. Again, Hades is not a villain, and he said it in the show. I'm not a villain. I don't give a shit about war, about my brothers. I've got enough shit down here. I've got enough shit to deal with down here. So I love that. Um, another thing I really want to say is I. This is gonna be really hard to say without pissing a lot of people off. I don't think I don't think Leia Jeffries was a good fit for Annabeth in this series. Like she does an amazing job acting wise and being that kid who's never experienced real life as a kid, but personally I don't
I'm just
think
letting you know right now. I can hear the hornet's nest
I can
buzzing.
hear it. I can hear it as well. I personally don't think she was the right fit for this. Maybe my third or fourth pick, but not my first pick. Like I understand that her and Percy, like Annabeth and Percy, are supposed to get together near the end or sometime somewhere in between. I don't remember when their relationship actually starts. But I don't really see them getting together with this type of relationship. They feel more like best friends than actual friends to lovers. Like I don't see how their relationship would progress to being lovers. Um, that being said, it's weird seeing or imagining children being romantically involved too. So that's that. Um,
Well,
I, I, I don't
in
I don't know. This show was a it was a 6 out of 10 for me personally. That being said,
if
JC, what are your overall thoughts on it?
well, this is coming from my perspective that I have never even seen or read any sort of content of Percy Jackson to begin with. So I was going into it completely blind. I only know that the movies itself, the two movies that did exist before this show, were extremely hated upon and was extremely underwhelming as hell.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I personally loved what they did with this show. I thought the pacing was very nice. I thought what I've been told my girlfriend, she is a avid Percy Jackson fan, and she also has Percy Jackson fans that are very much deep into the community as well. They always look after Uncle Rick, Mr. Rick Rordian,
Hmm.
and seeing what he does. And the fact that he had a big play or a big hand into this show itself was detrimental to the series itself, because it's like, hey, you're not about to screw this up again, because Percy Jackson, again, like Avatar, The Last Airbender, is a beloved series,
Yeah.
beloved children's book, beloved children's like coming of age story. I thought that the pacing was very well done. I like the scenery, I like the cinematography, I like the actors. I will disagree with you on the actress who plays Annabeth. She did a phenomenal job, and I thought she portrayed Annabeth pretty damn well, in my opinion, as compared to what I've seen. Like I pretty much skimmed through the Percy Jackson movies after completing the series. I skimmed through it, and it was like, I prefer the show than I do the movies, and I honestly will go back and read the books myself, because I know there's a hell of a lot of lore and a hell of a lot of content to read when it comes to Percy
Hmm.
Jackson. It's
Hmm.
still a lot of things, and Rick Riordan is still making books. By the way, he's still making books of Percy Jackson. He's going right back
Oh
into that
yeah.
world once
Yeah.
more. Um,
What a
but
madman!
I know he's a god. Literally, the
Hmm.
dude is a god. From what I
I
understand, from what I've seen, he's a god.
I will agree with you on one thing, that I prefer the show versus the movie, but that's just saying I think the show did a better job than the movie
Right.
at Annabeth.
That being said, I did get giddy. I did fangirl a lot when I saw my boy Edge, Adam Copeland, onto portraying Ares. As soon as I saw, the news that he was portraying Ares, like, oh, I was already invested, but now I'm hella in for the long run, man. I'm so in for the long run. I thought the whole premise of making Ares not necessarily a driving force, but a benefactor into the plot point of like why the Lightning Thief is existing in the first place.
Hmm.
I didn't think he was too much into like a driving force. I thought he was just there, just like help at first. We
Hmm.
all know.
Yeah.
Um,
Like the
but
show is fully over at this point, so I have no problem with us going full spoilers.
Yeah, me
well,
either.
yeah, but
But
just
yeah.
I thought the pacing was nice. The character development was pretty damn good. And going back on your point, saying that Percy Jackson pretty much knows everything off the bat, you do forget the point that in the show they did address that his mom was preparing him for pretty much what was to come.
Mm.
So, because at the very end of the show, like it's like um, you see Miss Mama Jackson talking to Poseidon. It's like, how the hell am I supposed to do this without you? Like, how do I can't do this without you? Or it's just like I don't know how to prepare him for your world when it comes to that time. And it's like from then point on, like I don't know if that's true to what going on in the books, but as compared to what happened in the show, I thought it was a really good pivotal point that addresses everything of why Percy Jackson knows everything there is to know about the gods. I'm rambling at this point. I'm pretty much forgetting my plot points. I'm sorry, but yeah, um, I thought Percy's character was intuitive. Yeah, he's lollygagging about every now and then, but he's just a kid still at heart who's living in a god's world. Um, and seeing Camp Half Blood, just it was like, whoa, dude, wow. It's just it was so eye opening for him. And then it's like, hey, I gotta get used to this if I'm to survive, if I'm to find my mom. Like, I gotta go find my mom. So he's driven, like he's mostly he's focused in. So I can only imagine that during the travels, um, Grover and Annabeth were filling him in on like what to expect or what characters or what people to avoid, what to expect, what to know about the world itself, especially the lotus flower scene. The lotus flower I thought was like pretty much a damn good episode with Mr. Lin Manuel Miranda. Like just that was a fucking good episode in my opinion.
It
That
really
had to
was.
be like one of my
Mhm.
top three favorite episodes. Um, but I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was pretty damn good. Really well paced. I give it a solid 8.5 out of 10 in my opinion. A solid 8.5 10 out of 10 vibes. Um, but I agree with you on some points, but mostly disagree with you on other points that are major benefactors to the show itself. Again, I don't know anything about the books. I have been brought to attention with certain Easter eggs that my girlfriend literally geeked out over, especially the
Yeah,
twins of Hades, the
yeah,
Italian twins.
I've heard
But
heard
yeah,
those.
no, the fandom has exploded with utmost positivity. The fandom has been rejuvenated with life, thanks to the show. And now they have newcomers that they can, like, fill them in or just be like, oh, that's your favorite character? Oh, baby. Buckle up, sweetheart.
Now,
No, because, yeah.
as, as for me, like JC, I have not read any of the books, and I did not even see the movies. But I am aware of how bad the movies are. Like really,
They're
really
really bad.
but and considering the past couple of years when it comes to anything Disney related in general, it's been kind of hit or miss, and
Mhm.
and I was pretty much on the fence with this show as well, like with a lot of Disney projects, especially this past year. 2023 was just not Disney's year at all,
Nope.
but I can happily say that while there are some I do semi agree that the pacing could have been a little bit better. I will say that I actually found myself having a pretty decent time watching this show. I thought the concepts alone were interesting enough for me to keep me coming back. Adam Copeland as Ares was just like the minute I saw him as Ares, I was like, "Thank you, thank you very much. I really appreciated this. I really do." Uh, I also disagree with Leia as Annabeth Chase. I thought she was pretty good. Um, I just want to go ahead and just give Walker Scobell.
Walker Scoville with a
This
B. Walker Scoville.
Yeah, thank you. Walker Scobell a giant hug right now. He is phenomenal. The kid is going places. I swear to God. He acted as a young Ryan Reynolds in the Adam Project before
Oh yeah.
this.
Deadpool 2 opening scene memorized and then cited it in front of Ryan Reynolds.
The kid's insane. He's insane. He's an absolute talent, and I'm extremely happy that he's gotten the chance to play this
I heard rumor
incredible
he's
role.
going to be playing Kid Pool.
Yes, I would love
I
to
would
see.
love that.
I would love to see that. Like it's got some pretty like decent action sequences, like some surprisingly decent CGI for a Disney Plus show, especially with Disney, But the biggest surprise, I almost like I knew that he was cast, but I was not expecting it at all as well when he finally showed up, and that is Lance Reddick.
The great man himself. God rest his soul, man. That was a
Hmm.
phenomenal performance
I mean,
as Zeus.
technically speaking, this is not his last portrayal. Like he's actually going to be appearing in a spinoff to the John Wick movies. I believe it's like between 2 and 3. It's called Ballerina. It's coming out, I think, early June or early July. But
Yeah.
either
Sometime
way,
this year.
yeah, it's sometime this year. But rest assured, this is not the last time we'll be seeing him on screen. But what we did get in this show, as of right now, was amazing. The guy. Why did he
Yes.
go?
Like this is the one and only time we'll see him as Zeus in this series,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, it was amazing to see him as Zeus for what time we got.
I just want to point this out here that Disney has a knack for hiring great talent that passes off too quickly.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
agree.
They have
But
a huge knack for that because Chadwick
they
Boseman, the guy who plays,
Black Panther.
who's in the Ahsoka, obviously, yeah, but the guy who played that one, uh,
Ray Stevenson. Ray
Ray
Stevenson.
Stevenson, yeah, Ray Stevenson, who was in Ahsoka, he's gone, and now Lance Reddick. I mean, Disney, come on, man, like you gotta stop with the low blows here. This is you can't be giving us great performances, and then all of a sudden,
It's not their fault, but still, yeah.
life, man, life has a
Life,
very very fun way of
life finds a way.
getting the butt end of the joke. Just whatever. Just I'm just saying, Disney has been doing this lately, and I am very concerned. So,
Yeah,
well,
I
not
kind
very concerned, but like low key concerned. But yeah,
well, so for me, a final verdict, I would definitely give this a 7.5 out of 10. Mostly because of the pacing issues that is kind of getting to me. But I definitely thoroughly enjoyed my time with it. I definitely want to start reading the books now. Like
Oh yeah, the books are great.
yeah, and the fact that what made the show truly wonderful is the fact that like the creator was directly involved in this. I'm not sure if he was involved in the movies, which
No,
probably
I don't
explains
think
why.
so.
no, he was barred. I think he was like pretty much barred from being on set or something.
Oh, no wonder the movie sucked. No wonder it sucked balls.
I could be guessing here. I could be speculating, but no, I heard that he wasn't even
Uh,
remotely involved at all.
Yeah.
well,
Surprisingly, Stephen Myers and J.K.
7.5 out
Rowling
of
were
10.
involved in their projects.
But yeah, so yeah, those are our thoughts. Yes, I would like to see a second season. I would like to see where the story goes. Um, it,
I would like the second season. I want to see what the hubbub is about these Italian twins.
yeah, yeah.
I want to be Hades' kids.
I was surprised with the whole plot of Kronos in this because that wasn't part of the book at all. So they're moving the timeline up. They're moving the story points up quite a bit. So it's going to be interesting to see what they actually do. If they're actually going to go with the full, if they're going to make the entire book series, or if they're going to condense it down and just adapt things here and there into a few seasons. So yeah.
Well, if Rick Riordan is involved, then yeah, I completely will be on board for whatever he wants to do because it's not uncommon for like creators to want to do something different to their project when they first establish it to where they are now, and they're like, okay, looking back on this, I should have done this better. I should have done this plot point at this point in time, or these character developments at this point in time, where yada yada yada.
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of changes going on, like or sorry, let me just start over. There's changes like that happening with series like Percy Jackson for one, Invincible for another. Um, there's another I think for uh Halo season 2 because I know they got rid of their showrunner.
oh,
Um,
oh,
I think
really?
they're going to go in a different direction and start actually taking care of their show. And I'm pretty sure
Hmm.
there's other examples of beloved franchise series that are getting like certain, like small to big changes that are being done. But yeah,
All right, my
I
big
creative involved.
okay. I need to jump on this for a moment for Halo season 2 real quickly, okay? Because so far from what I'm seeing, it looks like a giant step up from season 1, which season 1 was just right. But my big problem is they like one of the first few clips that they showed to promote season 2 was a scene from season 1 where Master Chief or Master Cheeks he's doesn't even have his helmet, of course, and he straight up insults Cortana. It's like, stop talking, can't hear myself think. And Cortana responds with, "Well, I can, and you're not missing much." I'm like, these two are not they're not getting along. Meanwhile, the games, Chief and Cortana, they're like brother and sister. They got along just fine. Like, why would you show that clip to promote season 2?
See, I keep hearing uh certain opinions or even reading certain opinions on Reddit talking about like if they had just introduced a different Spartan and not make it Master Chief, Halo would have been fine. The
Yeah,
Halo show would have been fine. It had it not been Master Chief, but they had to slap on Master Chief just because.
It's
How else are you
Halo.
supposed to drive this show?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And just to bring it back to Percy Jackson, one last thing I
Yes.
want to say before we
hmm
end the show because we are running close to time. I would have been perfectly fine with the show. This show would have been amazing if Rick had originally just come out and said, "Hey, the show is going to be drastically different from the book. This show is going to be what I. This show is going to be much different from the book. This is going to be the story that I wish I had told in the beginning." Like
Hmm.
that, if he had come out with a statement like that, I would have been. It would have been so much better.
I feel like a statement like that
I would have
already
understood
exists.
his the changes.
I think a statement like that already exists prior to the release, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure something like that would exist if it was to be uh, like a lot of changes as opposed to what was already written in the books beforehand or what people were to expect.
Hmm.
But I don't
Yeah.
know. I could be wrong.
Anyways, so
Mhm.
yeah, those are our thoughts on the Percy Jackson show. I thought it was all right. You guys loved it. So different opinions.
You are
Perhaps
entitled to your own wrong opinion,
ah,
sir.
get off my show, you
Percy
banned.
Jackson show was a
Fuck yeah.
masterpiece. It was a
Ah.
masterpiece for the ages.
Anyways, so yeah, guys, thank you for coming on the show. It has been a blast talking with you guys again. Thank you for everyone watching or listening. If you guys are on Spotify, hopefully you guys enjoyed our thoughts, opinions, and all the topics that we had today. We will see you guys again next time. Again, if you guys want to know when we are doing the podcast again, when the next episode is, just check out our social medias on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. We will see you guys in the next episode.
Bye bye.
Bye.